everyone. This is the Damn Sis podcast, and we want to thank Anchor for sponsoring this week's episode. Anchor is how we record, edit, and distribute our podcasts. Because of Anchor, you can listen to us on Apple, Spotify, Google, and wherever else you can stream and listen to podcasts. If you ever thought about creating, you should consider Anchor. You can download the free Anchor app today. Also, you can make money using Anchor. Again, we want to thank Anchor, and don't forget to listen to the Damn Sis podcast. All right. It says, what's one thing your exes probably miss about you?
Everything.
Damn, sis. Wait, what? That happened to you too? Girl, no, he didn't. Women at their finest in their darkest hours. Welcome to the Damn Sis podcast, hosted by Christina and Christine, two lifetime friends. It's the Damn Sis podcast.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Oh, yeah, man. How you doing? You good? I know you like that.
We're gonna jump right into it and say, damn, sis, you did that. Damn, sis, you did that. And I want to highlight this other podcast. It's called Strip Down. Wait, let me make sure I get their name right. Strip Down Podcast, and they are located on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I listen to them on Apple. These are the men that are, I guess you could say, Chippendales Magic Mike, like type of thing. That they have turned their, I guess the manager that ran them or runs them has turned their theme or whatever into a podcast, and so they have different guys on, but they have serious conversations. Like, we were just listening, like you just listened to a little snippet of it, and the man was like explaining sometimes it's just the small things in life. So like they have, like, I was like very pleasantly surprised about the podcast, but B, like the content that they created as well. It was like, okay, it has substance. Like, they got some thoughts.
I'll definitely listen now, because the snippet I was like, okay. And
it's nice to get like a male's perspective on like certain things, especially things that I didn't think, like, I guess they thought of or stuff like that.
You know what? I think men give off this persona that they don't be like gossiping or don't have feelings, but once they get amongst each other,
I feel like men are the biggest gossips.
Yeah, like they definitely be talking, and can like get deep in their feelings. Because like one of the snippets that I just listened to, the guy had asked him, what's harder, being in a committed relationship or like getting random girls? And he was like, being in a committed relationship is more work than it is to get.
Do you believe that?
Well, first of all, I feel like being in a committed relationship is work. That's every day.
Oh, that is work.
But
like choosing to show up every day.
Listen, it is not easy to talk to random people.
We were just talking about this, like with the whole going out there and just like dating.
It is not easy to have like an introduction line, other than.
I don't have no introduction. Well, I don't even introduction. Like,
but you see what I'm saying? Like a way to start communicating. So I give guys a lot of credit. Like now being on the other side, like I give guys a lot of credit for.
Do you have an introduction line?
I other than hey, how are you? This one girl that you sent me on TikTok though, like she was shooting her shot.
Yes,
and she was
those things
funny.
Be cracking me up. The little like shots they be spitting from like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yes, she was funny.
Those things be hilarious.
Now
I ain't bold enough to do it, but those things be.
Oh, I'm stupid enough to do something like that.
Hilarious.
I will like read profiles and answer questions that they may have, and that's been a good like segue into like a conversation. But nah. I don't know. What do you think is harder, committed relationship or talking to somebody?
Oh, most definitely committed relationship. You can always stop talking to somebody whenever you feel like not talking to them. Literally, like you can put them on do not disturb. Don't never write them back if you don't need to. Or being in a committed relationship is because you have not only committed to this person, on trying to do your best with whatever your relationship is, but then you got to like actively do it as well. That's just and some days you don't feel like communicating or talking to people or even being around someone, you're just like, I don't want to be here. And then, but you have to.
I don't want you here.
I want you here. That's more like it. I really don't want you here. But you here though. So that really be it. Yeah, definitely being in a committed relationship, especially if it's been like, I think only over as time continues to go, does it get harder. Because you have like those, I was listening to something today, you have like the honeymoon phase, I guess you can say, where everything's all cute. Even if they do ignore you, like they get on your nerves, like it's not that big of a deal because you still find things cute. Y'all still got like that whole, fresh sexual attention. Yes, it's exciting and all of that other stuff. When you hit in 3-4 years in, you like, say what now?
The question, do I really like this man?
Do I really like this man?
Continue this? I mean, yeah, you see this person for who they truly are. And I mean, we all know that we're flawed, but like to combine, like energies and cultures and opinion, like, and views and
religion,
like when it
politics,
gets to like the real meat of things, it's not easy. It's not easy at all.
No. And that's what I said, like, I think as you continue to like just grow further and further in your relationship, because it's like it goes in different stages. Like you're actually in the committed relationship, then you get engaged, and that's a whole nother set of like,
it's not really that different when you get engaged.
You don't think?
I know. I mean, when I was engaged, like it was different.
You don't think it made like a shift in your relationship? Like, I mean, I guess, if you've been dating for a while, for a really long time, you should be considering like the important things in life anyways with your partner. Yeah. But like, do you not think it like made a shift where it's like, we really need to start focusing on these things now?
It didn't happen in my relationship. It wasn't like, oh, we're now engaged, we need to start a savings together. No, it wasn't like a push to that. It was just more of like, oh, we want to be on our own type thing and like do for us type thing. But it wasn't like, like how like when you turn 21, they were like, how do you feel? I felt the same damn way I was feeling when I was 20 yesterday.
I'm gonna say you really don't feel nothing until you hit 25.
Okay.
Someone told me
it's 26 for me. It was 26.
Somebody told me this, like when you hit 25 and when you hit 30, like I guess every 5 years. I don't know if your bones start cracking a little bit more, but my cousin was like, when you hit 25, you're gonna know that you're getting older.
See, when I was 25,
I felt like after maybe like a few months after I turned 25, maybe going like even a full year in, turning into 26, he was like, oh, okay. Yeah. You in your mid-20s now, girl.
No, 25, I was like, I'm in my prime, baby.
That's true.
I still was like, I'm 25. 26, I was like, how
25 is a good number too. It's like you old
right
enough,
there in the middle, right?
But you still young.
You young.
Yeah, but you got a little maturity with
I think 26. I woke up the next morning like, God damn, my back hurting.
It be like that.
Or you just be like, I'm so tired of the routine of being an adult. Like you an adult.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
And then as you go on, it just each year is just the same thing.
I think it goes faster.
It really that too.
Like I was 25 and then I turned 28. And I was just
it really
what happened
is.
at 26 and 27? I don't really remember it.
When you turn 18 to 21, it's a blur.
It is.
It's a complete blur. It's just like fast. You moving, partying, doing whatever you want to do. 21 hits and you're like, okay, you can finally legally drink now.
You've been doing all this shit anyway.
But you've been doing it all anyway. Well, I mean, some of y'all might be good people.
I, for the most part, was good people. I didn't really do a lot until, I didn't go crazy until I was like 29.
Let me tell you something. Me and my sister, when I tell you we had the best, I guess you want to say opportunity in life to wild out when we were like a senior and junior in high school. Because my mom worked night shift. She worked 12 hours. God bless her soul. She worked 12 hours from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. at least 4 days out of the week. And then even the following week, when it was like her off week or whatever, she only still probably worked 3 days out of the week. So either way, we still had a good solid 4 days to live it up. Live it up. It's amazing that nobody ever called the cops on us because we had so many people at our house, at like house parties. 2, none of us, we never got like seriously hurt or injured where we like had to call her and be like, hey, I'm in the hospital. Or 3, we never had to call her and be like, hey, I'm going down to
your house burnt down.
Your house burnt down. I'm going down to the police department. You might want to come pick me up. None of that. I had my own car at that time too, baby. From 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. we would literally have people cleaning our house together as a unit. We would have football players, everybody else cleaning the house because we've been like, she gets here at 7 a.m. She gets off at 7 a.m. It only takes her about 15 minutes to get home. By 6:30, y'all technically need to be out this house. So by 6 o'clock in the morning, y'all need to be cleaning.
Nope, that ain't. Let me tell you something about Luann. Luann wasn't playing no games.
Marlene didn't play no games either.
My mom eyes was on me, and I say me. My mom's eyes was on me like a hawk. Meanwhile, my sister is the one that throws massive kickbacks.
It's always the youngest one that gets away with so much.
Let me tell you, my sister was able. My mom used to go on a cruise every year. I would just go to my friend's house or go to my dude house at the time because I didn't want to be associated with the kickback. I would come home the next morning, the house would be smoked out, it would be shit everywhere, and I would be looking at her like, I'm so sick of you and your friends. I'm so sick of y'all. Me never did nothing like that. My sister got to go to Orange Crush. My mom would not.
She went to Orange Crush?
Honey.
Have you ever been?
Never went.
I never went either.
Never went.
Never could go.
My mom would never allow me to go.
And if you're a real one, some of y'all might know where Orange Crush is. Let us know if y'all know what Orange Crush is.
Yeah, we might be telling on ourselves.
We might be telling how old we are, but B, well, y'all know how old we are, but like.
Yeah, I never got to go to Orange Crush.
Me neither.
But she let her go. I was well in college, and my mom was still like, I don't really know if I want you to go here or there. Like that first child, she had an attachment to me, boy.
Same thing. My mother, till this day, now granted, we have like the tracking on the apples, whatever like the locations. Yes, locations turned on for all 3 of us, me, my sister, and my mom. So you can just see, especially with like when it was like, it's still always going on. So ladies, be aware. People like kidnapping and human trafficking and stuff like that. Especially, but like maybe about like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, it was really bad. Like every day, it seemed like a girl was going missing in Atlanta. So we were like, we need to turn to like, turn your tracking on or whatever. Plus, me and my sister wear Apple Watches, so it's like even if you drop your phone, your Apple Watch will still track you or whatever. My mother has no idea how to use this tracking at all. But she's always in a panic when me and my sister go out somewhere. Always in a panic. I'm looking like, we are grown. We are not damn near grown. We are grown. And she was still is in a panic every time we go somewhere. And then the funny thing is like, my sister lives in Texas and we live here. So if my sister decides to go out, she'll be like, Christina, can you track Chelsea for me? Why? I'm going to track it yourself, Marlene. I don't know how to do that, Christina. Oh, what is the point?
It's just they worry. Like my mom, you can tell that she tries to be reserved about it, and she's not asking a lot of questions like, where are you going? Who you going with? She always says,
no, Marlene does that.
But my sister has my location and legit stalks me all the time. Today, I kid you not, I go walking on my lunch break. This fool goes, who you at the park with? And I was like, can you please stop stalking me?
No, that's me and Chelsea. Literally, we have I'm pretty sure some of y'all have seen like the the TikTok where it'd be like, when I call, you answer immediately. That's me and my sister saying, let that phone ring I kind of call you more than 3 times. My sister would be looking like, I see that you are at this location. So why you can't pick up your phone, Christina? And I'd be the same way. Oh, her phone was glitching one day. And it said her phone was at a storage center. I went into full-on panic mode. I called my dad. My dad lives 45 minutes away from my sister. I called my dad, like, you need to go see where she is in the storage center. Now, the storage center is literally right across the street from her house. Her apartment. So it was like, I don't know if Apple was just glitching that day. and it was supposed to be reading her apartment address, but it was picking up the storage address. Oh, but baby, I went in full on panic mode. I was like, what you mean you at the storage facility?
Why you ain't moving, sis?
Why you ain't? And then that was the thing. I kept calling her. She wouldn't pick up her phone. She was asleep. So I was like, okay, yo, what? I mean, your phone said you at a storage facility and you're not picking up your phone. I told my daddy, I was like in a panic mode. I said, go. I don't care if you're 45 minutes away. Drive.
Oh, wow.
She finally picked up the phone. She was like, I've been asleep for the last hour. Not that
can I please just sleep, y'all?
Not that you would care, because
now I gotta text y'all before I go to sleep so y'all won't panic if I don't answer the damn phone.
Really, basically.
Oh my God.
I wonder am I gonna be like this with my own children? I feel like I'm gonna be tracking device down just for the fact that I know.
Oh, I mean, a part of me wants to say that I'm going to give them that freedom and liberty to be kids, but then the panic part of me wants to know. You know, like I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'll probably have like a tracker on like their tablets when they're kids and stuff. Like I probably will.
Tracker on their tablets on their kids, tracker on their car, tracker on their phone. Just for the fact, because like I said, I know me and my sister literally got away with so much stuff because my mom was working late.
Now don't mess up these children's lives and be hovering over them because y'all was out here doing house parties while y'all mama was working hard to provide.
Literally to provide. Like my mom would call, we would be, and she might call like maybe 9, 10 o'clock. They tell everybody in the house, shut the fuck up. Shut up.
See, now y'all can get away with that shit in these days where they got the Ring cameras and
see, this was back in the day. This is back in the day. No, we would tell everybody, be quiet. Literally, I was
out here doing it.
I would be on the phone like, yes, ma'am. No, ma'am, we just watching TV. She'd be looking like, who over here? Destiny. Okay.
And then Destiny like, say hey, Destiny.
Hey, Destiny. Hey. Literally, I remember one day she came home. Me and Destiny and Chelsea had just literally finished cleaning at maybe like 6:50. So we got in the bed at like maybe 7:10. So by now she about walking through the door. She like, why y'all? What's wrong? Why y'all sleeping? Y'all still sleep? I'm like, girl, A, it's only 7 o'clock in the morning. B, we literally just got in bed 20 minutes ago.
Like this on school days?
Oh yeah, she would work like Mondays, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Y'all didn't like yourselves. Y'all gonna see these damn people tomorrow.
No.
Goodbye.
And then she used to work on the weekends too. So it's like her, like it would be either Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. She would work 1 week. The following week, she would work. The following week, she would work Friday, Saturday, Sunday because she only had to work 3 days. Baby, when I tell you, it didn't matter. Party during the week, party next weekend.
Goodbye.
Literally, I had no business. Like this, is why I said I got to have a tracking device on my child
because your own guilt.
Because A, they say it comes back 10 times over, like whatever your child did, like whatever you did as a young child. 2, I was out at the club at 17.
Are you serious?
Yes, downtown with Destiny at a club, like.
And probably if you look back at it,
and then we were like club girls. We had like the t-shirt shirts. Like I don't know what, like I don't know, some boys that we had met and they was like, oh, we party promoters, like y'all gonna be the girls or whatever, and they gave us shirts with their little logo on it, and we went into the club and they gave us a little bottle section. Literally,
high school.
High school.
I hope it come back to you. 10
Do not
times.
say that.
10 times. I wasn't the girl at the club in high school at all.
That's why I'm a grandma now, because I did everything all in my younger years.
I didn't party like that, like outside of like family events and stuff until I was like 2021, honestly.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So, but see, by the time I hit 25, I was like, oh, Christina done did the clubs. Yeah. I was like, I'm done with this.
You over it.
Mm-mm.
All right, so what's happening, sis?
So that's what's happening since. Anyways, I done rounded up this whole entire section. It was supposed to be about their podcast, but go listen to their podcast. I
forgot about that.
I think it's really good, and like I said, they give you really good insight on like a man's perspective on certain things.
I'm gonna listen.
Okay. Now let's do what's happening, sis?
Yeah.
What's happening, sis? So we were talking about Naomi, the supermodel.
Campbell.
Yes, Campbell, the supermodel. She had a baby. She announced it today.
50.
At 50, she had a little girl. And it's, do you think that's too old, or do you know? You don't have any?
I don't want to say that it's too old. I just don't think it would be for me. I guess I don't know. To me, I feel like women are getting older and older, and they're deciding to have kids later in life, and I don't see anything wrong with it necessarily. Naomi Campbell has the means to take care of a kid.
She has more than me.
Yeah,
to take care of a kid.
Like I'm sure she'll be fine. Like I know Janet was about 50 when she had her son. So
yeah.
So to each his own. I don't know if I would want to have a new, fresh, day-old baby at 50. Me personally.
But do you not think that that's like, to be honest, I might think that it's like prime time. Well, it should be prime time.
50?
Your patience is more like chilled out.
But then people always say like it's exhausting. It's a lot of work.
To
run.
I have a 3-year-old. I'm gonna say I have a 3-year-old brother.
That's a lot. Like I the way that I view 50 is like on somebody's boat. Like relaxing.
That's very true. That's how I feel 20, 30, 40, and 50.
And I tell myself all the time, and this is no shade, no tea to nobody else, but if I don't have kids by 35, the latest 37, I'm probably not going to do it.
I don't know if 30.
I probably won't do it because for me, I start thinking about it. If I'm 37,
45 would probably be my latest, because even then, if by the time your child turns 20, you're still only 65. Technically, that's still kind of young nowadays. So,
nah, I'm good on it, because then 25. You said, well, how old are they gonna be? 20?
Yeah.
Okay, you still a damn kid at 20 to me.
Technically, in our eyes, I guess, yeah. But technically, after you hit 18, you're an adult to the world.
Yeah, but it's like how, I know that
really, after you hit 16, you're adult to the world.
There's a lot of 18-year-olds out here probably that don't have the luxury of having their parents support them and things like that. But I don't think that's all about that. It's definitely not my story. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. At 70, I don't think I want my kids living with me. 50, I don't want my kids living with me.
No.
Yeah, no.
So if it's necessary.
That's one thing. But if you could do it on your own, no.
Yeah.
I don't think I want it. I think, like I said, I want to be on somebody's yacht. Maybe you can live in the house and I'd be
on somebody's yacht.
Because you're going to be grown enough and I don't got to take care of you.
That's true. That's true.
To each his own. I'm happy that she's happy.
Okay. We also were talking about the TikTok the thing that's going around for everyone as the Shawty Swing My Way song.
Oh, yeah. KP and Envy White.
KP and Envy. If you it's a song that came out in 1998. I'm sure everybody pretty much knows it.
Y'all know that song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shawty swing my way. Sure look good to me.
We did not know that Envy. First off, I didn't know it was a group that sung the song. Secondly, we didn't know that Envy of the Envy group is technically white or Caucasian. But
I feel like she might be mixed. Honestly,
you feel like she might be mixed. I feel like she's just purely.
If she is, white. She sung the shit out of that song.
She really did, because that was a jam. It still is a jam.
That was like my first ringtone for my dude. I love that freaking song. But I was surprised. I
was very much surprised by the TikTok. But there you go. You never know. And apparently they were put together by Lil Jon, so that's how you know.
Lil Jon been out here producing.
Thank you.
Things.
And giving hits.
Yeah.
Okay.
It didn't start with the yeah. It started with a Shawty Swing My Way. Damn. That's yeah.
Yeah. That's a good song.
Yeah, it is. It is. What else is going on?
So we were having a discussion about can you give the statistic of the work week? Anyways,
yeah. So I was looking at this article and it was talking about working long hours and how it's killed over 745,000 people in a year. That's what the study says. And they have a bunch of different comorbid issues that may come about with working long hours, whether it be like high blood pressure, heart disease, a whole bunch of stuff. But basically, it's killing folks out here. And I can see how it's killing folks. Like, working long hours is almost, to me, and especially in the media, it's almost like the norm. Like, you shouldn't be asleep.
That
millionaires don't sleep.
Hustle mentality.
Yeah, that hustle mentality.
Go getter type of thing.
Yeah, while you sleep, I'm up making money. Good for you. I need my 5 to 7 hours a day, sir, or else I can't function.
My daddy literally said this. He was like, "Hey, my daddy gets up at the crack of dawn, like no matter what. His off day, his work day, he don't care.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks when he's up, you should be up as well." My man called me on a Saturday morning at 8 a.m. and was like, "What you doing? Sleep?
Why I can't sleep that late though.
Why at 8 a.m.?
No, even on the weekends, I'm up at 6.
Oh, we do.
Even if I like this weekend. No. This weekend, I got home at 4 this morning. My body would not let me sleep a minute over 6. I was up at 6 o'clock.
Oh no. Mm-hmm. Oh, no. Anyway, okay, so y'all two would go perfectly together because the way that he was like, "What do you mean you sleep?" I'm like, "I'm asleep." He's like, "Christina, if you want to be a millionaire, you gotta get up at." You think millionaires are sleeping still at 8 a.m.? I said, "I don't know, but this millionaire is. So how can I help you?"
This one's sleep.
This one is sleep. How can I help you? All he wanted to do was talk about cryptocurrency and the stocks.
I ain't mad at him. I mean, like, I'll take a nap during the day, but it won't be more than an hour or nothing. But yeah, some people's bodies are just programmed to get up. Mine's just programmed. I cannot sleep past 6.
Mm-hmm. I wish I was. I've never been a morning person though. Never. No, I don't care how much sleep I get or what time. Like, we're pulling out at 11 a.m. I'm gonna hate getting up. I'm gonna hate it.
Nah, I'm an early bird.
I'm gonna hate it, and I'm gonna need a cup of coffee to go with it.
Yeah, unless I had I might dread getting up, but I'm gonna get up.
No, I will literally. If you don't, I said I'm a person. I have 30 alarms just to make sure I'm up on time because if not, I will just continue to sleep.
I have 2. One goes off at 4:45 in the morning. And the other one goes off at 5:45, and I'm up. And I don't sleep next to my phone, so I have to get up.
That's another thing. We talked about that. Like, my phone is right next to my bed, so I can listen to sleep music, but could never.
Try it one day.
I won't have to because my body won't let me, unless it's a mandatory thing. And the only reason I get up, is I know I have to be somewhere at a certain time in the morning. And I'm like, okay, you don't want to be late. So I would force myself to get up. But even then, I'm going to hate getting up in the morning.
No, I got a whole regimen.
No.
Anything else I missed?
No. It was a whole bunch of other, small, simple stuff. But it was too much, y'all, just within the last 24 hours to even recap. So we're going to skip all of it. And all of it was really nonsense to begin with. We all need help, sis.
Hello.
Hey, who is this?
If you have any questions, concerns, statements, stories, hit us up. Input, feedback. Write us at damsispodcast@gmail.com, or you can write us on our Instagrams as well. You said you had a comment from a listener about how they found it funny that you said that you couldn't be friends.
So maybe a few episodes ago, maybe two episodes ago, we were talking about the Steve Harvey comment where he was like, females and males can't be friends. And I said, I didn't wholeheartedly agree with Steve, but then I was like, I could see where he's coming from. So I guess I mostly agree with Steve. And then my cousin was listening to it. And he was like, I find that shit funny that you think that. And I was like, why? And he was like, I got a whole ass group of friends
And it is really like boys, girls, and there is no type of energy like sexual tension in this group. And they've been friends for at least at this point, I'll give them at least 9 years. And it's never been an issue. And we legit, I hang out with them all the time. And it's more of a brother-sister feel than anything. And the group is like 12, 13 deep with people. So he called me out and was like, how you could think that. But we did agree that that's not normal. And that, those relationships were formed in college where you're meeting people, and we had things that were in common and things like that. So it's a lot harder to do that as adults. It is. It just really truly is.
It is a lot harder to do it as an adult.
Yeah, if you don't have any common grounds, So we were all like in this one group called Calypso, and so that was kind of the common thing that we shared. And so we all became friends. Well, they are his friends, and now they're our friends because we always with them. But yeah, so I just wanted to put it out there that it can happen.
I think it can happen.
It can happen.
I think it's up to the adults to place that.
Yeah, make sure that the friendship, outweighs your desires, and you don't want to fuck up the group. Don't be trying to sleep with nobody in the group.
Don't fuck up the group.
Please don't.
Don't be those two people that fuck up the whole entire relationship for everyone else.
Yeah. So I just wanted to.
Damn, sis. Okay, guys. So we are going to do, I guess, another version of our Damn Sis like quick convos and chill, but we have new questions with a new game. So this is called a collection of questions for deeper discussions.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to go first or do you want me to?
I'll read my question first.
Go ahead.
All right. Come up with a new Olympic sport in which you would definitely medal.
Ooh.
I got mine.
What is yours?
Stripping. I think that deserves.
Oh,
pole dancing does deserve to be in the Olympics. That shit is so hard to do. Have you ever pole danced? Like went to a pole dancing class?
I have not.
Christina, I'm talking I was beat up the next day. First of all, I didn't get up the pole, not once. I scratched myself with them heels a gazillion times. My calves was rock hard the next morning, and my feet ain't never get off the floor. So I want to say to all the ladies and the men out there that is rocking the shit out that pole, y'all deserve full-on medals because that shit is not easy.
I guess, I don't know. The first thing that came to my mind was babysitting some children. I mean, because if you are ever the first oldest daughter, you done babysit some children, okay?
Honey, we know that.
And I guarantee you got a gold medal in that. So
not babysitting, I cannot.
But as far as like, I don't actually know. I really do feel like pole dancing should be in the Olympics.
Pole dancing should really be in it.
Some of them strippers be
pole dancing. That's it. And they, they be doing tricks and shit.
Thank you. Standing on each other with them heels on.
You ever see the girls that do they do isolation in the air? So like they'll like
yes.
Like they'll slow it down to make it look like slow mo. That shit is so sexy.
If you need a show to watch P Valley on Stars. You should watch P Valley on Stars.
You told me about this P Valley. Okay, I'm happy to look at
watch P Valley on Stars, and you can get an idea of what because they be stripping on that show too.
I'm still watching This Is Us.
I mean, you can come back, like start another show in between that because they got so many seasons.
I'm almost done.
Do you want to know some gossip about This Is Us?
What?
Okay, so do you know the character that plays the brother?
Kevin.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So he was married, and his
in real life.
Yes, this is his real life. So he was married. The show, his wife was on a real estate show on Netflix called Sunset something. I don't know. It's a good show too. I'll figure out what the name of the show is. So that her first season of the show aired maybe 2 summers ago. Or maybe not even 2 summers ago, because I feel like me and my sister binge watched this when quarantine first started.
Okay.
And then she was on the show. She literally in the first season, he calls her and says, "I'm leaving you. I want a divorce." Clicks, hangs up, goes and files documents at the courthouse that same day. Literally, so all of they're recording her show as they're doing this. This Is Us is on a hiatus at this point. I mean, like on their like fall break or something like that. Calls, tells her while she's filming her new show, "I don't want to be with you no more." She like rushes home. The man moved out. Literally, all of this plays out on the Sunset show. So I'm gonna figure out what the name of the show is for y'all. All of this plays out on her show. He done moved out. He filed court documents at the county's office that same day, and didn't leave her no note, no nothing. I mean, he did leave her a note saying like he didn't no longer want to be with her. He's filed for divorce. Be expected to be divorced within. No, never gave her a reason. She said that they had like a small tiff that morning. She said she went to work. She like tried to apologize to him. He never answered. And then when he finally did answer, it was to tell her that he had filed for divorce papers. The man just got remarried. This literally happened all within a year. The man got remarried maybe about 3 weeks ago to a whole new woman that he was working with. Not on This Is Us, but on the soap opera show that not Days of Our Lives or something like that, because he's a soap opera star that he was married to. Now the twist is his original wife was also a
she was on the show
the show too, Days of Our Lives. So they all three work together. When I tell you, baby,
so he's Kevin in real life.
Kevin, yes. Someone said, "I'm so surprised." He was like, the guy that I was watching, he was like, when you look like hear all of this, it makes you look at him differently. But he was like, also, this is something Kevin would do on the actual show.
This is Kevin.
Yes, he was like, so maybe he's actually playing himself on the show. And that's
why he does it so well.
But yes, and it's so sad. Like on the show, on the Sunset show, is so sad because you can tell it completely caught her off guard. She was like, she had to find a house. She was living out of a hotel because he literally took and changed everything, changed the locks on. All of this plays out on her show too.
Oh my God, damn.
Like when I tell you, it's a good show, but it's so sad.
It like a reality?
It's a reality real estate show. So she's in real estate, like in Los Angeles, but they also give like a glimpse of their personal life, and all of this happened while she was recording her. And I just felt so bad for her because it's like, A, not only are you going through this, but now B, this has become like a highlight. Of course, they want to keep filming because this is juicy.
Because misery loves company. We love to watch somebody
and it was just
fall apart.
So that's exactly what she did too, and it was so sad. And now that the man is remarried. And she was married to him for almost like 10 years. So basically she done gave up all of her 20s and half of her 30s with him. And now that man done divorced and remarried all within literally 6 months of them getting divorced.
Damn.
That was some light tea for y'all. That shit. But yes, I just felt so bad for her. But it's a good show. I'm gonna give y'all the name.
Yes. I want to know the name.
Okay. My question is, if everyone had to decide on their career path at age 6, what would your life look like now?
At 6 years old, what did Christine want to be? I think at 6 years old, I wanted to be a dentist. Probably. So I probably would be a dentist. Yeah. I mean, if I was 6.
Okay.
What about yours? You said you knew what you wanted to do.
Yeah, but my grandmother used to love watching like Judge Judy, Judge Joe Brown, Judge Mathis, all of them. And I would sit and watch them with her. So I knew I wanted to do something. I really wanted to be a judge. That was my first thing. I started off, let me tell you how life goes, people. I started off as wanting to be a judge. Mm-hmm. Then I was like, girl, you can just be a lawyer. You don't have to be the judge. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I was like, you don't have to be the judge, Christina. Like being a lawyer is just like still, you still good. Then I actually as I got older into college, and I had to you realize like how much schooling goes into being a lawyer. But with me actually, like I was working 2 part-time jobs and most of the time throughout my like undergrad, a full-time job as well, and going to school. But Tom, I was like, baby girl, you just be lucky to get into your field. Like, just do
Get
what you
that
need to do.
bachelor's.
Get what you need to get and
We're
be
gonna shoot for the masters.
yes, and be done with it. Christina is in her field that she said she wanted to be in. And she has a very high ranking, I can say, job within her field. But is she a lawyer or a judge?
Nah.
No, not at all.
Okay. All right. It says, what's one thing your exes probably miss about you?
Everything.
Ooh, put it just like that.
Everything. To be honest, probably, which we talked about this on this last episode, about how us being motherly and wanting to do things for them, probably me doing things for them.
Oh, or yeah, I could see that. I mean, amongst other things, but you know,
like amongst other things, but me doing things for them, literally, like I said,
doing everything.
Yeah.
Let's see what he would miss about me. Let's see what he says. Of course, like, you know, cooking and having like a decent meal. And like you said, just doing things for them. And then he told me, you know, just having somebody to smoke with and talk to about like how his day went. Lonely.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
So he probably just missed those little moments.
So once again, everything.
Everything.
Okay. What's a character trait you hope you never pass down to your kids? Or hypothetical kids,
my ability to have to be super safe at home and do everything for everybody. So my inability to say no. I hope that they're just a little more balanced than I am in that way. What about yours?
I agree with that. To be balanced. I want to say not to take on everyone else's emotions.
So like you're an empath.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I don't know if this is just being the oldest daughter and being, like you said, like that parental parent / child, or growing up in a single parent household where you realize like a lot of what's going on, but like taking on other people's emotions. Like sometimes you just gotta live for you.
Oh yeah.
And it can be hard when you feel like you have to either be the one to hold it all together because everyone else is like having their moment where they need to have like either their mini meltdown or things just don't seem like it's going right for them in life or going right for y'all in life right now. But so you got to be the strong one. So being strong, or like I think sometimes people think, oh, well, I have to be strong, regardless of even any situation. I think some people have to think, like, I have to be the strong one. I can't let people see me weak, or I can't have a moment to myself where I need to cry type of thing. Because if I break down, then all shit is going to go to loose, basically. And I don't want that for my children. I don't want to, hopefully I don't never have to put that much pressure or like, I want to say trauma, but like that much heaviness on them in their life. But also, even if there is a little bit of heaviness, I want them to be able to express themselves in a sense where it's like I understand like all of this is going on, or I'm having a rough time right now. I need to be able to express my own feelings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, because it can be hard.
I completely understand where you're coming from. And, you know, we have that in common where, you know, we take on, for lack of better terms, the burden of our immediate family, to be the strong one, to keep everybody happy, to make sure shit is going and is afloat. So a thing that I would want to pass on to my kids is just the idea of, you know, it's okay to be selfish with you and to preserve your feelings and your mental peace. And, you know, you can't do everything in one day. You can't save everybody. Simply, Rome wasn't built in a day. Like,
no, and sometimes you got to just save yourself.
Yeah, and to be expressive. That's one thing that I really want from my kids, is to be able to express themselves with no judgment, you know? So, yeah. That was a good question. All right. Describe a moment that made you feel like a real grown-up.
Oh, probably when I started paying all my goddamn bills. Like, I think it's a difference. Let me place it like this. When you live with a parent, like, even if I grew up in a single parent household, like whatever, I paid my cell phone bill. Paying my cell phone bill is a difference than paying rent and shit like that. Even
contributing to the house.
Yes, like actually contributing to the household. Like, yeah, my mom pays majority of actually my mom paid all of our bills. So like I had to worry about simple shit like I want to buy clothes, you buy that out your check. You want to pay your phone bill, pay that out your check. It is also a difference even when I went to college. Like when I first went to school, my mother grocery money that was coming from my mama. Okay. I never, like my freshman year all the way probably up to my sophomore year, I never worked at all.
Really?
No. Mama, between my mother and my dad, every now and then, I was getting, like, they paid, but 99.9%, all of that, my food, grocery money, coming from Marlene. You want to go out to the club? Coming from Marlene. Really? She paid for everything. So I think I hit, like, oh, you're an adult when I moved off college, like, campus. And I got my own apartment. And then it was like,
you better go work.
Oh, okay. This rent, this lease is in your name. You gotta pay this. This power bill is in your name.
Fuck it up if you want to.
Your water bill will get cut off if you do not pay this. Like,
yeah.
You need to pay your bills.
So about how old were you, would you say, when you felt like a grown up?
I want to say I moved off campus when I was 20. So by then 20, because I was like fully paying for everything, like by myself. Maybe even 19-ish. I was going to say that, but like 20 most definitely, I was fully paying for everything. Me and my sister had moved into a townhome.
I remember.
And
I think it was a townhouse in Augusta. Yeah,
we
was in more than one house, right?
Yeah, we moved in one townhome. We were in that townhome for about 2 years. Then we moved into another townhome across town.
Which one was it where y'all had like the big bathroom, like y'all sink area was like massive? It felt like a house.
It was a house. It was a house. So that was our first townhome that we ever lived in. It was a house. We were the youngest people on that block. It was nice. It was like for us to like this to be like basically both of our first like moving out on our own. We did really well. Yeah, we got like a really nice house. It was a fully like it had a deck. It was nice. It was a nice townhome in a nice area, and I remember we went in there and these people were like, it was some older white gentlemen and they like were like, okay, yeah, well, we were, they let us see the place or whatever. And we was like, okay, we think we want to apply for it and stuff like that. And the man was so nice. He was like, okay. So he let us apply for it. He gave us everything. He called us back the next day. He was like, I'm gonna let y'all have it or whatever. And we was like, Thank God. Yeah. He was like, can y'all meet me at the house so y'all can pay y'all deposit in your next month and all of this? Sure do. And that right there alone, putting down deposit for rent, I mean, for your first place, like this is your first month deposit, last month deposit, and whatever you got to pay like in between.
That shit hurt.
That alone, him like saying like, oh, I'm going to run y'all credit. I was like, baby, we ain't got credit.
But yeah, no, I think for me, I mean, I've been paying bills and doing shit like that since I was 15. So I've always felt grown. But it really hit me like I was like grown when I no longer had insurance.
That's another thing, baby.
When I didn't have insurance, I didn't have insurance for maybe 6 months.
I've gone without insurance like that.
Yeah, I was like,
when they tell you you're too old,
jobs, and I couldn't be on my mom's insurance, couldn't get like state insurance or whatever the case may be, and I was just like, oh, this shit is ghetto.
That's what's, what's funny is that's what made me leave my 2 part-time jobs to go to a full-time job in Augusta is because at that point they were like, oh, you don't have insurance anymore. And I was like, okay. This was before they changed the law for however it was, like you can stay on it as an adult now.
26 was the age, right?
Yeah, but this was before then,
okay.
I think. And they were like, you don't have insurance anymore. I was like, okay, bet. And I think it was like, you need to find. I went like 6 months without insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I got like a cold or something. And I was like, but you ain't got no insurance. You can't go to the doctor.
You can go to the hospital. Y'all can bill me, and then I'll dispute it.
And I was like, oh, you need to find a full-time job so that you can have insurance. And I did. I was like, that was right there.
Yeah, that was it for me.
Yeah. When you tell you, it hits differently when you put down deposit for a place and you like, this is literally, I'm giving a lot of my money away for this.
I'm giving all my little savings.
My little savings up.
My comfort, my little security, giving it all away.
Mm-hmm. I remember when you moved into your apartment in Augusta.
Oh, you gotta talk about this part.
I know. Let me tell you. Christine was so gracious. We just said, me and my sister had 2 townhomes when we were in Augusta. We moved out of our original first townhome, and we thought our second townhome would have been ready. Then people called us like, yeah, we ain't ready. We was like, we ain't got no place to go. What you mean you ain't ready? Christine was like, I called Christine. I was like, Christine, we don't know what we're gonna do. Like, we can get a hotel, but like, what we gonna do with all of our stuff and stuff like that? Christine, you don't remember this?
No.
You let us, me and Chelsea, stay with you for about 3 days while they got our townhome together.
No, I do not remember.
Yes,
that.
in the apartment on what's that road?
Was it Richmond or something like that?
No, like what's the busy road? Washington.
Yeah.
Yes,
Washington
yes.
Road.
And you were waitressing. Yes, and you let us stay. Me and Chelsea stayed with you for about 2. I don't know if it was about 2 or 3 days, but they finally got our stuff together, and
damn, I did not.
We were able to.
My roommate was there.
I don't know if your roommate was there or not. I don't know. I can't remember that. But yes, we stayed with you for about I think at least about 2 days, and
damn, I don't remember that.
My dad. I don't. To be honest, I'm trying to think now. What the hell did we do with all our stuff? I don't know. I don't even remember what we did with our stuff.
I was a good person.
You were a good person.
I was a good person.
You let us stay with you for about 2 days, and then we finally moved. We were able to move into our second home, and then that's when we were in the upstairs, downstairs townhome. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. I'll take it. Is it my go or your go?
Mine. So
okay.
What's something about your life now that you would miss when you're 80?
Something in my life now that I would miss when I'm 80. Well, I always say that this might be a little morbid, but I always say I want to die with being capable of doing, like, thinking for myself.
You want to be in your right mind.
Yeah, being in my right mind, but also just having the ability to bathe myself and clean myself and stuff like that. So, hopefully the universe allows me to do that, and I'm competent of all things. But if I'm not, I guess it would just be that, like, doing things for myself. And I don't ever really want to have to depend on anybody to do anything for me.
Yeah.
So that's something I think about all the time. I tell people all the time, like, and this might sound so messed up, but the day I can't wipe my ass is probably like the day I'm saying, just
fuck it.
Just pull it. Just
not just pull it.
Especially if I'm like old. If God forbid, honestly, like, hopefully nothing ever happens to me in that way where I can't do something. But like I had like an accident that I could recover from or something like that. But like if I was a full-on like vegetable, pull it. So I would just say being able to do, just being independent in general. What about you?
One thing I think I'm going to miss when I'm 80 is my mother, my parents. It's sad that, like, you don't want to think about death, let alone like your parents dying or something like that. But if I'm 80, like, it's inevitable that unless science has miraculously done some things by then, that my mother is gone at this point.
Yeah.
And that would be something that I think I would like really miss. Also, like you said, just being able to do things for myself, being able to, I guess I complain about like, oh, my back might hurts and whatever, like my shoulder might hurt, but like I can still get up and move and do things that I need to do or whatever. I think at 80, it becomes like it
just depends. Like
I was gonna say, it might not become as difficult to move around, but like
it just depends on you. Because I've met, in the line of work that I do, I've met 103-year-olds that are in their right minds, able to do everything for themselves, and just hate being here. Okay, they just tired of being alive. Like, so I mean, no, death. I've met more people doing hospice that are ready to die than those that are like,
I'm scared.
Yeah. And I've probably serviced at this point at least 1,000 people.
I don't understand. I mean, I get like it's a needed profession, but like my heart would break every time.
You become normal. It becomes a job, unfortunately. And it doesn't take away from the experience, but I think if anything, it's a beautiful experience because for me, it kind of just helped me put things in perspective that this shit is not ongoing. It's not inevitable. You better enjoy it because you could be a patient pretty much. So, but yeah, we won't get too down and deep in that.
That's true. That's true. Is it my turn or no?
Is it my go? It's my go. Is my go? Yeah, I think it is. In your biography, which chapter would you ask your partner to skip? No, not your partner, your parents to skip. I wish I would.
Probably chapters 17 to 25.
God damn.
17 to 25. So my dad definitely don't need to know some things, and I was living La Vida Loca in my mama's house while she was working, so
I wasn't really doing shit like that. Like, I think what chapters would I want? I'm 28. They could skip 25 and 26.
Okay.
Why 17 to 25? Because of all the shit that you was doing?
17, clearly, we were throwing house parties when we shouldn't have been. 18, I think I was very much still in my I don't want to say partying phase, but maybe entering my partying phase. Because it's like, I mean, we were like I said, me and Destiny was in the club at 17. We technically weren't allowed to be there. At 18, it's like, okay, you can you can start entering some clubs or whatever.
Right.
And then, 18 was pain time. I definitely had a lot of good old memories from there. And then 19, I would probably say the same. 20, like I said, you can skip a few partners that you don't need to know about. Like, I don't need my daddy knowing that I was dating such older men.
Somebody his age.
Basically. With 2 kids of their own. Like, no. He don't need to know all of that.
Yeah, no. I think those last 2 years, I just wasn't myself. And I would hate for them to really like see me in that light. Like when my mom talks about me, she always starts it off with, she's a genius. My mom really thinks I'm like this. I feel sorry for her. She thinks I'm the smartest person in the world. But she has this belief and for me, and she sees me in such a positive light that I would hate for her to have seen me depressed.
That's another reason why they can skip chapters like 18 to like whatever.
So 25, 26 they can skip.
Yeah. Do you think it's worse that they haven't seen you in that light, so you have to carry that around yourself?
No, I mean, they heard it.
Or if they were to see you in that light,
I think it would hurt them either way.
Not hurt them more.
Hurt me?
Yeah. What do you think is worse for you, that you have to carry that around like with only you knowing certain things, or?
I think it is worse. I think it would be worse for them to see it. Because I know like my mom and I know my dad would be trying to do everything to get me out of that mode. And when you're there, you're there.
you know? So, I mean, I can talk to a therapist and things like that. So I can find ways, you know, to kind of come back to my norm. But for them to like see that, I just wouldn't want them to see that every day. I just, nah. Mm-mm. I don't think it would be, I think they would feel helpless. And I don't think a parent ever wants to feel helpless when it comes to their young, you know? So it's like, yeah, I think it would hurt me more to have them see me in that light.
I get that.
Yeah. Especially because I'm like the bubbly, you know, joke around, say stupid shit person, like kind of high energy. And so for somebody to go from that to very low and, you know, everything is like mellow all day, nah, that would hit them hard.
And that is one of my biggest things, like, I advocate for is like mental health and depression, because people try to make, I don't want to say some people or the media tries to make it seem like it may be certain ways in life, but I'm like, anybody and everybody can be depressed. You just never know.
Yeah.
You just never know. You never know what someone is going through, what they've been through, what they having to deal with at that current moment.
And then we all experience things and receive and perceive things differently. So something that may depress you may be a walk in the park for me, and vice versa. So, you know, I never really want to look down on anybody and their situation on, you know, why they're depressed. It's triggering. Different situations can be triggering to different people. So, yeah, I see what you're saying.
I agree. What would your 10-year-old self think of your present self?
My 10-year-old self was a true, disciplined, know-it-all Virgo. And I
feel like we might have been the same as children.
Probably. She might really judge me right now. She might cut me no fucking slack. She might say,
wow, bitch.
What happened? What happened? How did you she might ask, how'd you lose your voice? How did you stay in something for so long? How you end up back at your mama house at 28? She would have been howling and she would have been in my ass.
It's so funny to me that you can envision your life at such a young age.
I knew I was gonna have
and just knew, like, and you just know exactly like how this is going to be. And then as time goes on, like, it's just like, if I was my 10-year-old self, I would have thought I definitely would have been married with kids by now. Like, no doubt in my mind. Maybe there ain't no marriage in sight as of right now. I'll let y'all know if I elope though.
We got to get you out there first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Literally, I tell my aunt all the time, if I tell you to meet me at the courthouse, don't ask no questions, just show up. Okay. It's just completely different. I think me and you probably would have been, I was completely the same. I was a book nerd. I had a book in my hand every day, all the time, no matter what. I wore glasses. I still wear glasses. Baby girl, still blind. Yes.
Still read my books.
I still do read my books, but like I was very much
to myself.
Too much, yes.
Very
quiet.
Quiet, but very loud with my presence. Like very judgmental.
Still kind of am, but not
judgmental, but like not in a mean way. More of like constructive criticism.
I was gonna say judgmental on myself, not other people.
Oh no, I would tell people all the time you could do better. Like,
I mean, I tell people all the time that now, and it's coming out of a loving sense type of thing, not like I just want better for you.
Yeah, mine's is like love yourself now, put yourself first now. Back then, I would have been like, now you know, this is a disappointment. Like,
no, I won't never call it.
When I was 10, I was kind of very much grown, you know, in a sense where it wasn't like rude, but it was like, if you want honesty, go to Christine.
Oh, okay.
She gonna tell you look like a fool with your pants on right now.
I don't think I was like that when I was 10, but I get it.
Oh yeah, I was like that.
I think I was very like just within myself, like very in my own little world, just like, you know, living type of thing.
I was in my world until somebody interrupted me and, you know, asked a dumbass question. I'm one of those people, I don't believe
no question is a dumb question. I would be like, that is dumb. Don't ask me no stupid shit like that.
You know, I used to not believe that no question is a dumb question. And sometimes I still do, especially depending on the topic. But as I've grown to go into my field of work, and I deal with adults on a daily basis, and then they come and they ask me these dumbass questions, I just be going, what the fuck?
Did you hear yourself
ask this dumbass question?
I like to reiterate the questions when I know it's a dumb
question. I do. I give
paraphrase it.
I want to re-ask the question. So when you stop and pause, like, why the fuck she asked it? Because I'm like, that's the same dumbass question you just asked me.
This question is equivalent to you asking me, what is your full name? You should know that, ma'am. It's your name.
I had someone ask me last week. They called and asked me when did something expire for them. Mm-hmm. And it was like, on the paper it says 180 days, but I wanted to call and see when it expired. Then you just tell me it expired in 180 days from the date that's on that paper.
What you could do, if you want,
count 180 days out.
Or if you don't even want to do the counting, you can go on Google and say 180 days from this date.
Boom. There you go. There you go.
What you thought I was going to sit here and count 180 days from that day?
I was like, and it's like, so when you think it expired, 180 days from when that date says?
Period. Moving on. That would have pissed me off.
I was like, you wasting my goddamn time.
Oh, that would have pissed me off.
Asking me this stupid.
Oh, it's my go. Have you ever felt differently about a person after you had dreamt about them?
No.
No?
No.
Really? I think I have dreamt about somebody like unexpectedly. You ever just fall asleep thinking about somebody and then that's like who you dream of? No?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've had that happen, but no, I don't think I've ever had a situation where it's like, oh, okay.
No, I woke up and I was like, damn, I think I'll feel a dude. Like, for real. I was like, for it to be on my mind.
That type of like.
Yeah, like you ever dreamt about something? Like it could be a negative thing. It could be a positive thing.
I don't think maybe like in a positive sense, but I don't think I've ever had anything in a negative sense where it's like people may like be like, oh, this is a foretelling of what you should look out for type of thing. I don't think I've ever had that happen. Maybe I should have, but I don't think
I've actually like dreamt and like dreamt of that person's, I don't know, face almost. And it was just like,
it's like, have you ever had a dream where it's like you see the person, but you can't see the person?
It's like a blur. But
but you know, like, yeah.
I have those all the time, and I be thinking that's Mystery Man. That's what I call him. Mystery Man.
That's what me and my sister say. I'm looking like, if she has a dream or something about that, but she's looking like, or especially it's about a wedding or something, and you know that you're the bride. I mean, like that's your. See,
now we dreaming weddings. If you dreaming,
you ain't never had a dream that you were getting married.
Never. But, you know, from what I know in my culture, you dreaming weddings, that's the equivalent of death.
Oh.
Yeah, so I dream death a lot. Or
so what is the equivalent of death then?
I think they say marriage.
Oh, okay.
But you still don't want to dream about your loved ones dying.
No.
That shit is not fun.
True.
At all.
Do you believe like when people say they like somebody dreams about fish?
I'm very big about that fish. If somebody like they'll be like my cousins be like, my mom had a dream about fish. Which one of you bitches
is pregnant? Yes.
And most of the time it's been spot on.
Literally, sometimes we be like the last time someone in my family dreamed about like fish or whatever. Mm-hmm. We would have a running joke. Me and my sister and my cousin will all text each other like, which one of you bitches is pregnant? Yeah. Because it ain't me.
It ain't me.
And literally, it was my cousin. She was pregnant with her second child. See, they hadn't made the announcement yet, but literally like a week later after my aunt had dreamed about fish, she came out with her and her husband came out with the baby announcement.
Yeah, and then like, have you ever heard of the one where they say if your youngest looks like between their legs,
they're looking for their sibling?
Yep, I've heard that one too. Yeah, none of the baby ones have ever. Nobody's really ever asked Christine.
Oh no! My mom would make a joke like, "You pregnant?" But looking like, "Girl, now you know."
Now you played yourself for that.
Thank you. You played yourself.
Unless I am the new day married, I don't know.
Thank you. And I tell her it'd be funny all the time. You be like, "Unless I'm married." And I said, if I am, it's Jesus' baby. Let me put it like that, because ain't no other way it happened.
No.
In what ways are you privileged?
Ooh. In what ways am I privileged? Do you have an answer for this?
I feel like I'm privileged in a lot of ways. And even when I was growing up, I mean, I might have not felt like I was privileged, but I was definitely privileged in a sense that there's people that people always say this, like, oh, there's somebody else that has it 10 times more worse than you do. But it's true though. Like, I don't have to worry about where I'm sleeping tonight. I don't have to worry about what food I'm eating, or if I can put gas in my car. Yeah. Or, I don't have to, I know I'm going to log in and clock in at a job tomorrow. So.
True. Okay. So yeah, I get it. I mean, definitely privileged to have loving, supportive family, because not everybody can say that.
Or even knows who their family is.
Right. Like, definitely privileged to have the bond I have with my sister, because not many people
get along with their siblings. And I say that all the time. I can never imagine how you cannot get along with your siblings. But people do. People feel like I have never spoken to my brother in like 15 years. I'm like, how?
Hey, damn, did y'all niggas sleep in the same room?
Yeah, like you grew up in the same household. Y'all probably got the same trauma. Hell,
did you and Chelsea ever share rooms?
Yeah.
I had this theory. My sister and I were talking, and I told her, I was like, I have this theory that siblings that are extremely close shared rooms at some point in their lives, because you had no other choice but to deal with them. Like, and I told her, and I was like, I shared a room with her for a very long time, like up until I left college.
You know what? I kind of believe that, to be honest. Me and my sister shared a room when we were like young, together. Mm-hmm. We shared a room. We didn't share a room so my parents, when they first got married, they lived in they owned this townhome or condo or whatever you want to call it. It had, I think, 2 bedrooms in it or something like that. So me and Chelsea shared a room when we were really young. Mm-hmm. Then we moved into a home. We didn't share a room anymore. Then my parents got divorced. We went back to sharing a room.
Got you.
So I think I can say, like, yeah, pretty much on and off. Even to this day, if there's an option where it's like, we got to sleep, like if someone has to bunk up with each other or something, that says me and Chelsea, like, we'll sleep in the same bed.
Oh no, my sister and I shared a room like up until I left for college. When I would come home, so when I left for college, my sister just knew I wouldn't come back home. I don't know how she thought that. Went and changed up the whole room, got one big ass king bed. So when I would come home from college, me and my sister legit would sleep in the same bed together.
Mm-hmm. When I go to visit Chelsea in Texas, we sleep in the same bed together.
And I mean,
when she has the option, or I can sleep somewhere else, but we just like,
no, like, I enjoy like just being there.
We sit in the bed together and talk like we're 5-year-old little girls.
Hey, we do it. You sleep?
Yes. Yes. You sleep. Okay, let me show you this TikTok. Since you not. You sleep. Let me show you this. Or have a whole long conversation. Yes, completely. So maybe that theory is true.
I think it is. I think I want to do a study on it. I really think I want to do a study on it, because I feel like siblings that never shared a room had a chance to get away when they were annoyed and close their door and say, like, leave me alone.
You can't do that.
No.
You can't do that. Even when me and Chelsea lived in Augusta, and we had this, like, our town, like I said, our townhome was pretty decent size. It was the second townhome we were in, even the first townhome we were in, they were like pretty decent sizes for them to be like our first like homes or whatever. Me and my Chelsea would get pissed at each other. I mean, like, pissed at each other. My mom would call, and I would call my mom, and I'm like, I want to rant and like spill it. Like, your child gets on my nerves. I just don't understand how she doesn't like does this, and she doesn't think to me. And my mom like, and then Chelsea would call and rant to my mama, and then she'll be looking like, all right, so who you gonna talk to, Christina, if you don't make up with Chelsea? Huh? Who you gonna talk to in the house if you don't make up with Chelsea? I was like, you're right. Mm-hmm. And literally, it would be looking like our fights probably never last more than like 2-3 hours at max.
Oh, yeah.
If then.
We talk and we laugh.
Yes.
That's typically the icebreaker, is like, because we right in the same goddamn room. So if we're watching something or listening to something on the radio and something funny happens, we both laugh, and I'd be looking at, I don't fucking like you.
I don't like you right now.
And she's like, I don't like you. And I'd be like, but I love you now.
Yes, that would be our thing. We would ask, what do you want to eat tonight?
The eating? What we eating?
What do you want to eat tonight?
Oh, come on,
well, I was thinking this. Well, I don't really want that. Well, come on, we can get what you want to get.
Yeah.
Okay. Then.
Oh God. Yeah, I can. So I'm very privileged in that way. To have good
that right there is a
family.
privilege. Yes, alone.
A job, like you said.
I think even though I went to, like, I had most of my life, I had either, it was like a mix between private or public school. That alone, people don't get. Some people don't even if it is an option for them, they don't either have parents that care enough to like set them up in this school system on the right track. But let alone go to college or get extra degrees if they really want to. I can tell my mother or my father, I want to do anything. And they were like, okay.
Yeah, you said something really important, though. Like, kind of just parents that care.
Yeah, that's right there.
I've seen, and honestly have seen and experienced, like, my friends and their parents really just being providers, but nothing else. And it's like they don't know them. And it's like I said, I know my mom feels for me and my siblings. And like, that was a lady that every morning, I love you. Like, and a lot of people
don't get to hear that.
Yeah, I had a friend. She was so weirded out. We graduated from high school. And she was like, Christina, that's the first time my mom said, I love you. And she was like, and I didn't know how to take that. And I was like, my mom annoying ass say that like every time.
Yes, literally, every time you get off the phone.
And I didn't know. I didn't realize that I was privileged to have that word just
spoken
around, every day. Where I almost feel like I diluted it and it lost its meaning.
Like sometimes it doesn't, because you're used to hearing it.
Yeah. And so when she said that shit hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, what do you mean? This is the first time you heard your mom say? She was like, this is the first time. She was like, I know she loves me, but this is the first time.
But it's also a difference in hearing it. Yeah.
Looked at me, and I'm looking at her, and she said, I love you. She was like, I didn't even know how to fucking respond. I was just like, damn. So yeah, I'm privileged in many ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things like sometimes you even take for granted, but it's like, no, it's a privilege.
It is definitely a privilege.
Okay, I have my last question. Which day in your life do you wish you could erase from history?
A day in my life that I could erase from history. This is the first thing that popped up in my head, and I'm sure I've had worse days than this. But it was a Mother's Day. It had to be 2017 Mother's Day, 2017 and 2016. 2017, sorry. It was my sister's first Mother's Day with my niece like being here. And I took them out to eat. I had got a new car in February. And I caused this accident. Just didn't see this lady coming out this restaurant. And I felt like shit. Like instantly when I hit this lady, I looked at my sister, I looked at my niece crying. They were fine, but just crying. I go, Christina, I'm sobbing. I go to the car to make sure the lady is fine. And I see 3 car seats in the back. Thank God there was no kids in that car seat, but I almost fell out when I saw them damn car seats. It was so bad. I totaled this lady's car, and she was holding me because I was crying so much. I felt horrible. I cried to the insurance people. I cried I felt so, y'all don't understand. When I saw those 3 car seats, nearly like really died. And then just to think, like my niece was so little, I was like, oh my God, like this could be trauma. Like as far as like I'm hitting her, I don't know if the car shook too hard or I don't know. It was just a bunch of guilt in me, and I hated everything about that day. Hated it. Absolutely hated it. So that was the first thing that came to mind. That would be the first thing that I would erase that day. Period.
I actually had 2 incidents that popped into my mind. One is very, very serious. And then the other one I considered serious at the time, like life. So the first one that popped into my mind was I failed a math class in college, and I thought it was the end of the world. I boo-hoo. I like fell out on the floor in my house crying because I was like, oh, you never failed a class, Christina. How did you fail this math?
Was you at Payne?
No.
Oh,
I was at Augusta.
I was gonna say, you know why you failed if you was at Payne.
Well, that's true. I was at Augusta, and I was just like, hey, Christina ain't never been a math person a day in her life. Like, never. She can finance some bills, and she can budget.
You can do what matters.
So I can do what matters.
You can count money.
But when they told me to go into trigonometry and all that other shit, whatever it is, no, not at all.
I can get that though. I can understand.
And I failed that class, and I just thought it was the end of the world. I thought, like, this is going to throw you off track, Christina. You're not going to be able to graduate. How did you let this happen? You are a failure at fucking life because you failed this math class. Little did I know, A, I don't do shit with math in my goddamn degree. 2, it didn't throw me off top for graduating at all. And then the second one, me and my sister we had a gun pulled on us. Someone tried to rob us, and it just made me, this was when we were like young, like not young, but like maybe like 24 or something like that.
What the hell happened?
Literally, so we were pulling into a neighborhood, and we seen this car sitting on the side. It was boys sitting outside of the car, but we seen like the car sitting there with lights on or whatever. And we was like, you know how you get a gut feeling? This is how I say, always follow your instincts. I got a bad feeling when we first pulled into the neighborhood, but I was like, whatever, we're just going to run to the door anyways and like, go. We get out of the car. By the time we literally turn around 2.5 seconds later, them boy was with a gun in our face. Like, give me y'all purses. Give me y'all money. Give me all of that. Give me everything you have.
You know how we shit out of life.
We screamed to the top of our lungs, and it scared them off.
They were young?
Yeah, they were young. So probably the same age that we were, to be honest.
Wow.
And they screamed, and we screamed to the top of our lungs, and they just ran off. They ran and got into the car. My sister is a genius with cars or whatever you want to say. She knew exactly what make and model the car was. So when we called 911, we told them what happened. We told them what car they need to look for. These boys get on I-75 and they start like the police start chasing them or whatever, and they crash their car into the ditch or whatever. So we get in there, and they like take us by the whole like scene, and they're like, is this the car that like, that y'all saw when they like pulled off? And was like, yes, that's the car. So they towed the car. So it was like 4 of them, I think. 2 of them get out, they start running. All of them get out and start running. 2 of them gets caught. The other 2 don't get caught. The one that actually owns the car doesn't get caught. This boy decides to call the police station like, hey, my car got stolen last night. And they was like, oh, really? Your car got stolen last night. What's your car? And he explains like, oh, this is my car that got stolen. Besides him telling him like, oh, this is my car that got stolen, one of the boys that got caught had already told on all of them. So they were like, they already knew he was a part of it. They told him, oh, come on down to the station so we can write it up for you. And then that's when they arrest them. We went through a whole court proceeding. We went through a whole like trial, everything. But I think it made me very like, I think I lived in a very like, I want to say secure environment. What's the word I'm looking for? That's very like, what is the word am I looking for? I don't know. I just felt like I was we were in our own like secure suburban little life, whatever. We never even imagined anything like this could ever happen to us. And I think it made me very aware in life. I'm always aware of my surroundings. I mean, which you get as you get older, but I think it made me 10 times more like, no, things can happen. Like you need to pay attention. And it doesn't matter if you are in a nice, it doesn't matter if you're in a nice little suburban area. It doesn't matter if like you ain't never knew any. I don't think I've ever even at that point seen a gun in real life until that happened to us. And it was like, oh, okay. It just made me like, people don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck about, like, that is the one thing that, like, I hate of all crimes is, like, besides, like, you know, murder and all of that other stuff, it's, like, robbery and breaking, like, taking people's things that people have worked hard for. It just made me, like, just be aware. You got to have your back, Christina. And not only that, you got to have your back, you got to have your sister's back, too. Because you are the older. So it was, like, we were able to scream loud enough where the neighbors came out, and like between the neighbors coming out and us screaming, it scared them off. But like I said, we went through a whole court proceeding type of thing. Like we used to get updates on the individuals and what happened to them. It was just, it also made me very aware. Like I was already in my field, but to go through, like, you become on the opposite side of, I guess you want to say, the law enforcement system.
Like, you're the victim.
Yeah, it's different.
And not the help. It's like, that's different.
It's different. And it just made me very aware in life. Like, yeah.
It can happen to you. Yeah, I think, too, like, when we live in these worlds where, you know, our parents kind of have
shelter us. That's the word I was looking for. A sheltered life.
A sheltered life. Yeah. You almost feel like those things only happen in the movies.
Yes.
And the shows. It's almost like you're exempt to those things happening to you. And then when something like that happens,
it takes you off guard.
Yeah, of course, because you were never expecting it. And it's like, it's eye-opening from that day forth. That, listen, at any time, anything
can happen. Yes. And I think it made me, like I said, very aware. Like, you might have been privileged to live a sheltered life up until this point, but that don't stop things from happening. And then two, now that you're aware that things happen, you need to be prepared yourself.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sorry that happened to you guys.
So I don't know at the time which one I considered, I guess, worse. I'm
hoping that gum being put on you.
I mean,
because you graduated.
I mean, both seem very traumatic to me at the very time. Like, me failing that class was one of my worstest things that could have happened to me at that time. But also, like, when your whole shelter, like, or I don't even say, like, your whole life, like, just shattered, like, flashes before your eyes, B, shatters before your eyes, basically, because nothing felt the same after that point either. And like, you never know. Like, thank God they ran off and, like, none of us got hurt, but we didn't know if that gun was loaded. We didn't know if it was just a gun that, like, they're just toting around and didn't actually have any bullets in it, or
it don't even matter.
If they even, like, thank you. He had his finger on the trigger, so therefore at this point it was like, your finger could slip one wrong move and.
Oh my God. I would hug my sister for eternity.
That's why I said, my mom's like, at this point now, she's like, y'all done been through, like, with you, and yeah. Like, my mother was working, when this happened, so it was just me and my sister. Like, this is something that we went through together, as we can just say, like, it just happened to us too, and it makes you thinking, like,
it better make you think, like, I'm sorry, so sorry that happened to y'all.
Yeah, so I mean, either, both of them days can go in the trash for me.
Okay, don't you ever come back. Like, that's scary. But yeah, I hate to end it on this note, but
I know we should have asked something else to make it a little bit more positive. You got anything else?
No, mine's done. I mean, it's okay. I mean, it ain't always gonna be happy. I mean, I think those are unfortunately, the biggest life lessons.
True. So be aware of yourself. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of who you're around. Just because you got genuine intentions, don't mean that other people do.
Okay. So yeah.
And protect yourself at all costs, because, like I said, you just never know. And then that's it. Do you have any
No last words.
No last words. No.
We see y'all next week.
We'll see y'all next week. We'll try to end it on a better note for y'all next week.
Okay, a little happier note next week.
If y'all want to send us a story, if y'all want to have what is the day that y'all want to erase, let us know.
Or even if you have any other like
or
conversation, like games and stuff, we're always open because I really like this. I think these are great conversation starters. Very in depth. Like I thought these were like pretty deep questions.
Yeah, I mean, like our questions last game
was cool.
Yeah, it's the last questions, they were like somewhat deep or some were like funny and like stuff. These are like I would say like what happened in your life type of thing.
Like, so that was the perfect name for this. So ... So yeah, let us know if you guys have played conversation starter games or cards, and I want to keep this going because I actually really like this one.
I do. Also, like you said, like Christina said, if y'all have any questions that y'all want us to answer, if we get enough questions, we can make a game out of y'all's questions as well.
That'd be fun.
And we can do it that way.
That would be fun.
But with that being said, you can email your questions at damsispodcast@gmail.com. You can find me at Christina.Simone on Instagram and Twitter.
Find me at imperfect_teen Instagram and Twitter.
And we will see y'all next time.
All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.